exploring how we can master ourselves by looking at how experts say it is possible with your host, Shashwati. Welcome to How to Be with me, Shashwati, as your timid presenter, guiding you through life's tricky topics and skills by reading through the best books out there. I've been podcasting for almost 18 months, covering topics ranging from mental health and well-being to understanding the world around us better through interviewing authors on the given subject. I've spoken to at least 40 authors, from award-winning editor of The Good Immigrant, Nikesh Shukla, to The Year of Living Danishly and How to Be Sad author Helen Russell, on what it means to be human, and about the human condition. Each episode is around 30 minutes long, describing the most important information from at least 2 to 3 books, hearing a snippet from the author's point of view, a summary of the advice, as well as the community at large, so we get a great overview of each subject. This season will have 26 episodes, and each will be packed full of really important information and life advice. From intersectionality, resilience, motivation, allyship, grief, as well as much, much more. I look forward to hearing from you, and welcome to this journey of learning.
Everybody, I'm listening. Are you listening? Okay, I guess I'm doing this podcast alone.
Do you hear the rats?
So I'm the main host, Dani, and this is my
eating?
podcast. And
Do you hear the rats eating?
we're not going to go into a rant about the rats again. There was an episode, I don't know if it was, I think it was the one before the last one.
Why we moved to the basement?
No, because that one was really short. It was the one after that.
Nah,
There was one that was like 30 minutes long.
I'm pretty sure it's where
Really? It doesn't matter. One of them, when I listened back to it, it was like a solid 10 minutes of the rats.
Yeah,
I was like, that's too long.
that's not too long.
No, but it wasn't just talking about the rats is different, but it was just a lot of you going, Ollie,
Oh,
Oliver.
he heard that.
He heard that.
Yeah, he heard that.
So it's really exciting for our listeners to listen to you talking to the rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And then I brought Ollie over and he sniffed into the microphone.
Welcome to a new episode of Hello, I'm Listening with your host, Wolfgang, and
your main host,
co-host, Dani. Co-host.
Main host.
You're the
Founding host.
You're the assistant to the
Assistant to the regional manager.
Yeah.
To the. Assistant to the.
Yeah.
Not assistant regional manager.
The co-host to the host. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
How
a
are you?
Patreon. We should plug our Patreon.
Patreon.
We started a Patreon, everybody, and if you don't know what it is, it's basically a site where you can support your favorite creatives if they have a Patreon, and it's basically a way to subscribe, more or less, pay a little bit of money each month, even though you can cancel anytime, and support your podcast, YouTuber, musician, poet, whatever. And we started a Patreon. Right now we only have one tier or one subscription live, but we'll add more for like some exclusive content, giveaways, maybe exclusive podcasts. I don't know yet, but yeah.
It's still a work in progress, but it's up and running as of now.
So you can click at the link in the description and look at it. No like no pressure.
How are you?
I'm okay.
You seem a little, I don't know, out of it today.
I'm not
I mean-
out of it today.
Today. I just basically saw you for the first time today, like a half hour ago. But I don't know, you seem kind of down or...
I mean, I've been down since we moved into the basement.
Get. There's no reason to be down.
Yeah, I don't like it in here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not bad, but yeah.
I mean, I say this all the time. You have to not think about the things you don't like so much, because the reality is that we're down here and we don't have another option. And in order to make it fun and make it bearable and manageable, you should not think about that stuff so much. Just be grateful that we have a space. Be grateful that we don't have to pay anything extra to live somewhere else while we're building.
I am.
And also just try to make the best of it. I mean,
The
I would think we do.
the thing is, I don't mind being in here. What I miss is just sunlight. During the day, you can't really be down here because you don't have sun. And in the morning,
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
hard
sun.
to have like just a place to chill then.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's something I miss. And
Yeah, sure. I get that.
sure, we have the garden now. We can be outside a lot. But when there's downtime, kind of sucks. That's the thing. I kind of miss that a little bit. But yeah, that's...
I mean, my offer still stands with my massage room.
No. Nah. Because my whole point would be to have like a place where I can play Xbox, but that would not work anyway, so no. It's fine.
Yeah, but playing Xbox down here isn't so bad.
Yeah. It's okay.
Doing other stuff down here, like reading I mean, it is nice after, like, I was outside the entire afternoon and it's like almost 30 degrees. So it's really hot. And my body's not used to that yet. And I was in the sun the whole time, and it's nice now to come home and sit in the basement because it's so cold and cozy. It's kind of nice.
Let's talk about minimalism.
With the context of, we'll be talking about minimalism, but I have a feeling we're going to shift a little bit where it won't totally be about minimalism.
But that's the
main idea, right?
Yeah. So I've seen this documentary in 2016 on Netflix called Minimalism. Wait, sorry, I have to look it up. A documentary about the important things. I think it's
Did
still
we
on
watch that together?
No, I've watched it alone when it came out. Oh, 2015. Sorry, 2015. It's just an hour long, hour 20 long, and it's about those two guys who basically started to live a minimalistic life and reduce their personal belongings to like a bare minimum. Like they had, for example, this one guy had like like 2 shirts or 3 shirts, 1 pair of shoe, 1 pair of pants, and that's just a start. So basically everything in his life he owns just enough so he can have a fulfilled and nice life, but without living this very materialistic and like by the what is it called, like I don't know what the word is, but from like all the ads and stuff where they advertise all the products you don't really need but you want. And I found it very inspiring because in the end it's a very extreme way of living. If you reduce everything, he was still having a nice apartment, not massive, but still having a nice apartment, a nice laptop for work and stuff, nice pair of headphones, stuff like that. But his overall life, his overall belongings were super reduced. And it was kind of cool to see people live like that and explain why they do it. And question what you really need in life.
Yeah.
Because especially if you have enough space, like if you have a house or a large apartment where you can actually, store things, we tend to get things, maybe not use them, but then store them away because we're like, oh no, I don't want to throw that away or get rid of it because it was expensive, or maybe I use it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And so we start. Oh, that was mine. Sorry, that was my phone. And so we start, cramming all that shit into spare rooms, into rooms where you can just hoard them.
Or closets, or
drawers, whatever,
Or, yeah.
And at some point we maybe realized, oh shit, I have 40 pairs of shoes.
I
Stuff
used to
like
have
that.
40 to 50 pairs of shoes.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, there's nothing wrong about it. I mean, if you like to collect shoes.
That's what I did.
Sure. I mean, I have a problem with Blu-rays, but I collect them. I see it as a hobby, and I
also
like
wouldn't say it's a problem. I would say
it's not necessary.
it's an obsession.
Yeah, let's call it that.
But it's also not a bad obsession. I mean, it's something you're interested in, and you
I mean, like,
enjoy film maybe more than the average person.
You can argue the same with books. People,
sure.
I'm
starting to, I hoard books. Thankfully, not that many yet, but
there are people, right, who buy books, read them once, if even, and then have them at home in like a nice area, library. Or whatever.
I keep some of my books. I don't keep every book that I read, but I the ones I really, really enjoy, I keep.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I like having the physical book, and I like able
being
to look at them and say like, oh, I read that and it was really good, and at some point maybe I'll read it again once I
that's exactly my point with movies. I mean, when I started, it was more the way where people came over a lot and we watched them together once or twice at least down here, and that was more the nice thing, because that way I was sharing them with other people, especially if they haven't seen them in a cinema or something. And I also like to own movies that are not like super known or blockbustery. But that's a tangent. But I saw this documentary in 2015, and I was very impressed by how people reduced everything to the bare minimum and still had a happy, very fulfilled life. And that's when I wouldn't say I'm a minimalist, not even close, but I started to at least question my behaviors a little bit. And I recognized that, for example, I bought way too many shirts, had way too many clothes. I never had a lot of shoes, but I questioned my belongings a little bit and slowly started to change behaviors. For example, I barely buy clothes anymore. If I don't have to, if my jeans are not ripped to shreds or stuff like that, I don't wear clothes anymore. Same with shirts. I used to buy a shirt, like at least 3 shirts a month. That's a lot of shirts. And you wear them once or twice and then you get rid of them because they're either you don't even like them anymore, or you have so many you never wear them, and then 2-3 years later you're like, okay, I never wear those shirts, so I get rid of them.
The thing is, for me, I mean, everybody likes the feeling of owning something new, or like putting a new outfit together.
Pudding.
Everybody likes that
chocolate pudding
feeling. What?
You just said pudding.
Pudding.
Oh, pudding. Oh.
Pudding.
I thought you said pudding.
No, but pudding would be good.
Vanilla pudding.
No, chocolate pudding.
Both.
Or butterscotch pudding.
Nope.
Anyways, but I have also significantly reduced how much I buy, and if I get clothes, I get them used now, and that satisfies the itch of like just wanting to feel good in a new outfit, but you're not contributing to the production of all of that shit. It's usually very gently used because, like you said, people wear something a couple times and then they just get rid of it like it's nothing. So instead of it ending up in like a landfill somewhere, there's a website that I use where it's all secondhand clothes, and you can also give your clothes to them, so you get points for giving clothes to them, and then you can use those points to get new clothes. It's a really cool system.
Yeah.
So I like things like that. And if I buy something new, on the rare occasion that happens, I try to spend a little more money to get the one new item and make sure it's more eco-friendly, or you know,
I agree.
or a company that's run all by women, or things that make us a stand or something.
Yeah. That's exactly, if you question things like that, I think if it's with everything what you consume in an aware form, you tend to question where it comes from, how it's sourced, how it's made, and what it is made out of. It's the same with food, essentially, if you are more aware of those things. And I think especially with clothing, where like the fast fashion is a million industry or a billion industry, where they throw out new clothes every week and make especially younger people believe that they need to buy those things to be hip and stuff, even though they have already a shit ton of clothes at home and they don't really need it. But it's a deal. You get a shirt for $5. That's awesome. Stuff like that.
If you're gonna buy a shirt for $5 or any item of clothing for so little money, then it should be secondhand.
I agree.
My opinion.
But that's exactly the point. The thing is, if you don't spend so much money on a regular basis on cheap shit like that, you can actually spend more money on something really nice that is sustainable, that is maybe
and you're probably also
eco-friendly,
gonna
vegan,
keep it
whatever.
Longer.
Right. And
if you
those things
put in the money to something like that, you appreciate it so much more.
First of all, you appreciate it way more. Second, you don't own so many clothes automatically because you buy maybe a shirt once a year or twice a year. And third, they tend to hold much longer because the material is so much better.
Yeah.
The best example, for example, I used to buy shoes almost every year because, if you think of Nikes or Adidas, like the regular ones, they used to just break apart if you wear them a lot. I mean, sure, it's a shoe. You walk in it almost every day, so it makes sense. But they're actually shoes who hold much longer, who are made to hold much longer. And if you spend a little more money, you not only save money in the end, but you end up with shoes, for example, or other clothing that, keeps being around for way longer.
Just to go along with the shoe thing, this is by no means a paid advertisement or anything. Be cool if they were a sponsor, but
Are you plugging something?
I am plugging something only because I love them so much. If you want to get like eco-friendly shoes, just everyday sneakers, the company Allbirds is fucking fantastic. That is the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn in my life. But it feels like you're walking on a cloud.
Isn't that an American company?
No, they're in Europe too.
Okay. No, I mean, I think everybody has seen an ad of those shoes.
But they're really amazing. They're worth it.
They're a little more expensive, but I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying.
They're more eco-friendly. The carbon footprint is much less. I'm pretty sure they're also certified vegan. I'm not. Don't quote me on that.
I think you also recycle a lot.
Recycle a lot, yeah. And they're super lightweight and they're amazing.
Don't plug them more.
I'm plugging them more because then maybe they sponsor our podcast.
But so, is it yours now?
Is it mine?
Maybe. Just put it there. Yeah.
It stopped, so
sorry.
That's mine.
Let's take a quick break. Take a quick break.
Bilake.
Hello and welcome to Clean Your Fucking House, Bitch with Nancy, Kevin, and Lou. In our program, we get real about the challenges of life and living. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have to ensure you are on your desired path for success and satisfaction. Yet, from the day you are born, you gradually and subconsciously fill it with tons of useless shit that gets in your way. Why is that? How can you clean that mess up? we'll show you how. Get ready to clean your fucking house.
And we're back.
Indeed.
So, the thing is, I urge people, if you have Netflix right now, then watch the documentary. I saw that there was like a second part to the whole thing with the same people.
There's some other documentary about that too, because I watched something that was really fascinating too about that. But I don't remember.
It came out 2020, I think last year or 2 years ago, I don't know. But it's a very interesting take on questioning how much shit you have and how much shit you buy on a daily basis that you might not need. And I think right now, I mean, with everything getting more expensive, talking about sustainability, what the fuck, sustainability, and also that we can't live a sustainable lifestyle with buying all that stuff and producing all that shit.
Yeah. Also, not to mention, I mean, I think it's probably still up on our website. We wrote a blog about fast fashion.
Yeah.
On our what is the website? It's not Sprouted Consciousness anymore. Is it?
Spross.
But it's not Spross anymore. It's
no, but it was Spross. It was.
It's on the Translating
Right now,
Love.
it's translatinglovepodcast.com.
Yeah, we wrote a blog about fast fashion, and so if you're interested to learn a little bit more about what that means, definitely check that out.
So yeah, but I think that's what we're doing right now with rebuilding the house. We're first of all rebuilding something that is already here, so we are reinvesting
and utilizing the space
better. Space that is here. Not to say that it's not expensive, but you know, we're reusing something old and making it new or redoing it. And also, and that's what you just said, utilizing space that before was not utilized or was just crammed with stuff that, you know, exactly what I said, you buy, you might not need it all the time or need it never, and you just put it away for 20
And that's
years
not
or
to
something.
say that we live a minimalistic life, because honestly, far from it. But I think just watching something like that, I'm not saying everybody go out and start living a minimalistic lifestyle, but at least think about the things that you buy more, be more conscious about what you're buying, where it's coming from, what it's made of, how it affects the environment or the working conditions of the people who made it. You know, those are all things that we should be thinking about. And
I think the biggest question that you should ask yourself with almost every purchase is, do I need that?
This?
Right. Do I need it?
And that's also not to say that it's not okay to once in a while treat yourself for something and say, this makes me feel good. And that's a good thing. You should feel good about yourself. And it's good to have that little bit of dopamine rush. But you lose that if you shop all the time, if you buy all the time, because then it's no longer a special thing. It's no longer, you know, it's something you don't need that the media tells you need. Yeah. And it's like brainwashing. I mean, it is. Essentially,
I'm sure it is, and also, I mean, it can be addictive where you buy stuff and you feel good about it, or good about yourself for a day or a few hours, and then it, you know, fades again. And sure, everybody likes to buy new stuff and gets new stuff and owns a new phone and stuff like that. But you know, I think in the last couple of years, we've all grown to know that we don't need the newest phone like all the time. We can have a phone that is 3-4 years old and still, you know,
especially because most phones nowadays, they're pretty much the same.
They don't change that much anymore. They don't change anymore. And it's with everything. I mean, and in the end, it's only things, you know, and also you don't have to have the best thing all the time. I mean, if you look at like iPhones versus cheaper Android phones, for example, or used iPhones even, you know, you can have something nice, but you don't have to pay the full price. You can have a
I mean,
refurbished phone.
that's what
for
I do
example.
if I get, except for my new laptop. That was the exception I made, but because I needed something better. But for my phone, for example, I got a refurbished phone and it was still like a brand new phone, but you pay much less for it. And also, again, the carbon footprint is much less because you're
because
not
it's already
contributing
produced.
to the production costs.
Yeah.
So there are so many options out there to buy things, but to buy it more consciously. And I strongly urge everybody to, before they buy something new, look into finding it used, gently used or refurbished or whatever.
There are a lot of there's so many ways these days where you can buy used things and they're totally fine or even completely new, almost new. And I don't know, we all, we hopefully all strive to be better and try to make more conscious choices what we do and also reduce our footprint, because it's a global effort in the end. And it's those small little steps that we can do to ultimately reach that goal. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, so like I said, it's like the topic is minimalism, but not really.
I mean,
it is in a sense.
That's the core.
It's the core.
I think minimalism is a very extreme form of living, and I admire people who can actually go to that place and live that place. And I actually want to reduce more. The thing is, I haven't bought clothes that much anymore, and I won't, because I will wear them until, they fall apart or are not nice anymore. And even then, I probably will donate them if they don't have many holes.
You can also use the rule, if you get something new, you have to donate something. That's typically my rule.
Right.
If I get something, I have to donate something in its place.
But I want to reduce my things because I have way too many shirts. I know that. And I want to reduce them. And I think in the last 4 years, I think I made already a big step towards that, by not contributing so much to the fast fashion industry. Yeah. So it's small little things, know? Yeah. If you like what you hear, please follow us on every,
whatever platform you use.
Right. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Rate us on Apple Podcasts.
Or Spotify, and check us out on Instagram. If you want to hit us up, like talk or have a question or a suggestion, you can use the Anchor page or our Instagram. I'm listening podcast, and our website is still live too.
It's still translatinglovepodcast.com.
But we'll change that in like a few months.
I think that's it.
And again, we have a Patreon now, so check out the Patreon link down in the description, and we hear each other next week.
Indeed. Watch out for deer.
Yeah, watch out for deer. Good.